What's up, everybody? It is time for your 205 Live review. We are live on Facebook Live, and we're also live on Google Hangouts, YouTube, etc. Um, I'm here alone tonight for once. It's kind of weird being here alone for a 205 Live review or any review for that matter. It's usually someone joining me, but it's kind of weird. It's been a long time since I've done a kind of review alone. I think the last one I remember doing is like a Lucha Underground review, but I feel like I've done one at least sometime in between, those times. But before I get started, I want you to be sure if you're watching this video, like it, please. Please like the video because that just lets more people come in and watch, man, and that's what we want. That's what we want here at the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast. Plus, it shows that you like the video. Um, if you haven't found the Facebook page yet, go find it on Facebook. It should be in the description as well. Especially if you are watching the replay, it should be in the description. I got a quick kind of, I don't know what to call this, a hot take. I don't know what to call this, but I was thinking about this because I'm always thinking about my Slammies. We got the ICWP Slammies coming up in December and or December, January. It's just, sometime near the end of the year. And I was thinking about what would be my weekly show, like my best weekly show or weekly show of the year. Can't remember what exactly our category is, but it's one of those two, like the best weekly show of the year, pretty much. And last year, it was Impact, and the year before it was NXT. This year, I'm leaning oddly enough towards 205 Live, even though people are really running away from 205 Live. People are not really feeling 205 Live as the show, you know, this great weekly show. But I mean, I don't know, and that's kind of my thing right now. Like that's what I'm like having this inner struggle with. What is my best show of the year? Now, obviously, I got 4 months left to kind of figure out what my favorite show, I guess, or the best show, the best weekly show, in my opinion, what that has been this year. But to me, right now, it's been 205 Live, and I think my main point that I wanted to make in this little kind of tidbit, this little rant, or this little hot take, I guess. I don't know. Is that what I'm gonna call it? Oh, that's what I'm calling it. I think the big thing that I'm trying to get wrestling fans to understand, and I mean, maybe even football fans, maybe even basketball fans when it comes to your team, but like with this, I feel like the argument against 205 Live, the negative things always come from people who don't watch the show. And I've always said this about, Impact and TNA, GFW, whatever we're calling it, NWA. I always feel like people judge TNA based off of their past opinions. And then they come back, they watch one show, and then they're like, oh, I like this show. They're like, I still don't like it after watching one show. You're not going to know after watching one show. You don't know a team is good if you watch one game. You're not gonna watch the Browns win that one game last year and be like, you know what, it's a pretty good team. So that's kind of the thing that I've been kind of meddling around in my head, like, how am I feeling right now with this? Like, and I feel like it's kind of with Raw and SmackDown as well. I haven't watched very much of Raw and SmackDown over the past couple of weeks. It's been really busy, and then if I always felt like this with WWE, especially if I don't watch it live, it's hard for me to go back and watch it. Especially now. Last year, like about a year and a half ago, when I was in college and I wasn't able to watch Raw on Mondays, I could easily go back and watch it on Tuesday, on Tuesday, or sometime when I got home that Monday night or something. Like, it was a lot easier because there's not SmackDown Live, then 205 Live, then NXT, then TNA, which I also couldn't watch live either. So I don't know, like that was kind of my big, I guess, hot take. I'm going with it, trademarking it. I don't think I can even trademark it. I think First Take has that. Anyway, I'm trademarking it. That's like my big hot take right now. Like, as a wrestling fan, develop your own opinion. Go out and watch the show for a month and then say I don't like it. Because my goodness, if I develop my opinions off of one show, I wouldn't like a lot of things because I absolutely hated Lucha Underground the first show I watched. And I didn't even watch the whole show. And I absolutely hated it. The first match, I was like, this is terrible. I'm never watching this again. Then I watched it again. I loved it. Watched the whole freaking first season. And I haven't watched much since then. No, but still, 205 Live, baby. I knew this was going to be a relatively short review, so I kind of wanted to add that little tidbit in there. Give me, leave me some comments or on Twitter or in the comments section on Twitter, ICW_podcast, and kind of let me know what your thoughts on that are, because I feel like a lot of times wrestling fans just they don't allow themselves to have their own opinions because they're just falling into the majority opinion. But anyway, 205 Live, the review, in my opinion, as of right now, the best weekly show right now. Now I haven't watched Ring of Honor, just haven't. I'm gonna try to watch it maybe for the last 4 months and see what I can do. But still, right now, 205 Live has been kind of the most consistent. I don't know if I wouldn't say it's been great. I just think it's been consistent. It's been consistent enough to keep me watching it every single week, and I watched it every single week. Even the week we skipped the review, I went back and watched 205 Live. I didn't watch NXT, but I watched 205 Live. It was weird. But anyway, let's jump into this show. We started out with Arya Daivari versus Neville. Neville did have a nice little interview at the beginning, kind of saying that Daivari's win was a fluke, and he's not. He's basically, tonight he's going to show him that it was exactly that, because they have another rematch from last week coming up here on this episode. So I was definitely excited. I was honestly surprised it started out the show, though. Arya Daivari versus Neville, just because it seems like that was what they were really building up. Daivari also cut a nice little promo to start the match as well. They've done a really good job with his character. I feel like they have done a great job with his character as far as this new, like, Persian royalty or whatever, Iranian royalty, I should say. They've done a great job with this character. I feel like I'm liking the jackets, but he's carrying it well. He's doing a good job with it, but he's also like not really like pretty boyish. He still like gets down and dirty, which I like. Kiritazawa was on commentary, still selling that freaking shoulder. Shout out to that man. I know Casey doesn't like Japanese wrestlers selling anything, but I don't think it takes away from what who they are as a wrestler, or who they are as a character, or how tough they are if they can sell pain, because everyone, for the most part, feels pain. I mean, the majority of people in this world feel pain, but um, loving what Neville's doing, man. Still, right now, like I honestly don't want him to lose his title just because he's carrying it so well. He's doing such a good job with it, and this heel run has been amazing. I was excited coming into this match just because I felt like they were finally giving Daivari a chance. Like, they've been pushing Neville to the moon, they've been pushing Tozawa to the moon, and Daivari, I said it last week, he's been just kind of there. Unfortunately, he has been just kind of in the shadows with his new character. He hadn't really won any matches, and now he's getting a chance. Not a title shot, which is good. He shouldn't be getting random title shots, but he's getting a chance at the champion to prove that he can do some things. I love the mind games aspect that he played with Neville to start this match off. He did a really good job with that early on, getting in and out of the ring, kind of keeping Neville on his toes. Neville came after him, and he ended up still getting the upper hand by using those mind games. And then he just basically just threw him into the barricades. And Daivari did a really good job in this match, kind of doing what Daivari does, being dirty, but also kind of keeping himself out of harm's way as well. He did a good job with that. I like this match. I think this will be an interesting title match because it takes away from the face versus heel dynamics. It's practically heel versus heel with Daivari and Neville, but definitely a good match. Akira Tozawa and Neville kind of get into it on the outside, verbally, so Neville doesn't get disqualified, and this Daivari pushes him into Tozawa, and this leads to Daivari winning this match by countout. Very interesting. I like it. Last week Neville ended up losing to Daivari, so it makes sense that he would. Well, it makes sense the way he lost, that they can still count it as a loss, but it's not a loss that makes him look weak. It's kind of a loss that's kind of blamed more so on Akira Tozawa. But this was a good match. I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with Daivari. And I think the one thing I did like about this match, and I was excited about for this match, I don't know if it necessarily actually did what I wanted it to do, but the one thing that I loved about this match was the fact that Daivari, it's putting Daivari on that even playing field with Neville, on that even playing field with Tozawa, and that's what we've always said is like there's a bunch of talent on this roster, and I'll talk about that a little bit more when we get into the main event. There's so much talent on this roster, and I feel like there's something. This show should be the best thing. Period. It should just be the best thing we've ever seen. Like it should be really good. It should be a lot better than it probably even is. It should be better than solid every week, in my opinion. But that's just me. But anyway, moving on, we had the Brian Kendrick versus the Brian Kendrick kind of calling out Jim and Jack Gallagher. And he kind of called him out with his little little verbal sparring. He put a picture of him up on the Titantron. He said different things here and there, about his hair, about his mustache, about his nose, about his pale skin, and the image would change and basically make Gallagher look like a clown. And then Gallagher comes out. He is not happy. He says that it doesn't seem like being a gentleman is going to work with you. Taking the high road is going to work, against you, Brian Kendrick. So how about I knock your bloody head off? Charges to the ring. The Brian Kendrick retreats. I like where they're going with this. It's showing a mean streak for Jack Gallagher, which is good. Jack Gallagher definitely needs that so he can still be taken seriously, because Brian Kendrick's doing exactly what he should be doing, and then not taking him seriously. I mean, that's smart. I like it. I think they're doing a good job with this. And, Brian Kendrick is doing a good job. I don't know what they're going to do with Brian Kendrick, but he's doing a good job. I could have swore that this was supposed to be a match this week, but I like this little kind of verbal standoff. It does give Gallagher kind of that, like you said, that mean streak and that ability to be taken seriously, and I feel like it's really going to help him out when it comes down to in this match coming up here. It's got to be next week, I would think. I don't know. It's got to be next week though. They've got to be having a match sometime freaking here in the near future. Like there's no way they can push this match off anymore. I don't think. But I'm definitely excited. I want to see kind of what they're gonna do with this. After this match, we had an interview with Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander. They were kind of talking about, teaming up and why they're teaming up and everything. Rich Swann kind of giving credit to Cedric Alexander, saying, maybe I'm not even worthy of being Cedric's teammate. And then TJP, who is in a friendly, competition with Rich Swann, basically comes in with Tony Nese saying, I got my partner, he's the premier athlete. Tony Nese kind of takes some jabs at Cedric Alexander, and this kind of whole thing gets a little bit more personal. But they still try to keep the friendly competition thing, which I really like. Like I think this is a really simple storyline that makes a lot of sense for the cruiserweights. If that I think that's the one thing about the cruiserweight division. I'm fine with having some storylines here and there, but a lot of the cruiserweight division is who is better than who. I feel like it should be more about wrestling, similar to what the Cruiserweight Classic was. Like the Cruiserweight Classic was so good because there weren't any storylines. Like I think that's the thing that hurts the cruiserweights being on the main roster, is that you kind of have to have storylines, because it's not just hardcore wrestling fans watching for wrestling on the main roster. But it's definitely something they could have tried out. At least they could have just tried it out as being just this pure wrestling division, and seeing I mean, let's just kind of see how the ratings go. Let's just kind of see if the casual wrestling fans tune into that, because I have always been of the impression that wrestling doesn't draw. The entertainment, the sports entertainment aspect of it draws. As much as we complain about WWE, that's what's kept them successful, is the sports entertainment aspect of it. And you've seen it time and time again with these big like wrestling champions, these big wrestling champions who were just really good wrestlers. You saw with EY and TNA when he was the world champion. You see it all the time with these guys who are just, the indie guy, the indie wrestler, to where they're just not as entertaining from a character standpoint to the casual fan. But anyway, main event, Tony Nese and TJP versus Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander. This match really proved to me why the cruiserweight division needs to pull certain tag teams out of their division and have them compete for the tag team championships. Simply because this match was great. This match was really good from a tag team psychology perspective. And if you put, for example, more so Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander than TJP and Tony Nese, but either team, it doesn't really matter to me. If you put either of these teams in contention for the tag team titles and book them seriously, my goodness, that would be not only a boost for the cruiserweight division, but a boost for the tag team division. They should definitely do this, because that's one thing that wrestling is missing, especially in WWE. Wrestling is missing you being able to compete in multiple places at once. You being able to represent the cruiserweight division, that's fine, but don't handcuff them to just the cruiserweight division. Let them go out and be in the tag team division and show what they can do as a tag team as well, and show that chemistry that they have. I'm loving Tony Nese's the build on his character as well. Like, they're doing such a good job with him just having this physique and like just showing it off, especially in his entrance. I don't know how well it translates to the live audience, because when he was kind of just showing off himself and everything, like I get the first one, I get the second one, and I think it probably translates pretty well. I think they just get it, right? I think they just understand he's just being, Tony Nese. They might need to just drop a mic on him or something, a lapel mic or something, just so you can so that they can hear him too, because I think he's doing a good job with this character. And Tony Nese is one of those guys who really, really, really deserves a push, or at least deserves to be at the same level, at the Neville level. Not necessarily at the Neville level, but at the same level as Neville in that regard, though, too. Like, he does deserve to be in that main event scene. He does deserve to be looked at as a main event guy, as does probably everybody in this division. Watching this match made me, once again, and I've said this so many times. I've said this so many times about 205 Live, about the cruiserweight division. I feel like there's so much talent on this roster. Why are they not being, like, why is this not the best show, and why are they not being used elsewhere? Or at least, why are these guys not all at the same level? I get it. You're going to have somebody that's the best. They're the champion. But you can have somebody that's the champion. You can have Tony Nese that's coming out here putting on good quality matches with the champion. That can happen. You don't need to have Neville at his own level and then have freaking, let's look back, Austin Aries, for example, and have Austin Aries be the only one that actually seems like he's ready to compete for the cruiserweight title. Everybody should be at the same level in this whole thing, in my opinion. But this match was good. Like I said, the tag team psychology was really good. Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander worked so well together. Their dive was absolutely amazing. I think Rich Swann did like a kind of springboard 450 while Cedric Alexander was doing a suicide dive. It was amazing because they were so in sync. Like, they were amazingly in sync. They need to be a team in the tag team division. If nobody else, no other pairing is ever a team, they need to be a team, man. They work so freaking well together. I love it. It would be great, and it would be a nice spark plug for the tag team division. This match was good though. I can't really say much about it. This match is really good. I think everybody kind of shined in this match. Tony Nese, definitely. I think Tony Nese was kind of the one that really impressed me because I've always been impressed by Tony Nese, that he's so big but still so athletic and able to do high flying moves if he needs to do it. But I love it, man. I love Tony Nese in this match. He did that little like Matrix type kip up thing in the middle of this match, and it was awesome. Like, I was like, oh my goodness. He's so good, and I think he's so underutilized. He needs to be used so much more than he is. But this match was really good. I love, it kind of showed everybody's style, everybody having a different style. I love TJP as well. TJP is one of my favorite, probably my favorite guy in the cruiserweight division besides Neville. But I have always been a huge fan of TJP. And I think it's once again, TJP gets underappreciated because of his character, which really isn't that bad when you think about it. There's not a lot to it. We kind of want in the cruiserweight division. We don't want a lot to your character. We just want you to come out and be who you are, put on good matches, and we're fine with it. So I don't know why that's such an issue with a lot of different fans, but I love TJP. This was such a good match. At the end, I think it was, Rich Swann had been taken outside. Cedric Alexander was going up top. TJP pushed him down. TJP pushed him down off the top turnbuckle, and then Tony Nese gets the roll up. Or it might have been vice versa. It might have been the opposite of that. But it kind of left Rich Swann in shock of kind of the friendly competition turning dirty again, with TJP kind of getting the upper hand on him once again. So I'm excited for this because I think these two guys work very well together. This match must. Sorry, Facebook Live people. I know my phone's right there where I'm slaving my hand. But this match must freaking be on SummerSlam, man. It's got to. I've said this over and over and over again, but if you're going to keep pushing the cruiserweights and keep having the cruiserweights have their own show and be their own little special thing, you have to promote them more on pay-per-view. You can't just have the not world title match, the cruiserweight championship of the world. You can't just have the cruiserweight championship on SummerSlam and not have. You could have Rich Swann versus TJP be the number one contenders match, and then they come face Neville in the next show or something. It doesn't matter, but it doesn't have to be that, but still, it can be. That needs to happen. This match needs to be like that. That match could tear the house down if they really let them go. I don't know if they will, but if they really let them go, that match could tear the house down. But anyway, that was your 205 Live review for 7/25/2017, just this past Tuesday. Definitely hope you guys enjoyed. It was definitely a good show. I enjoyed it. I'm kind of, like I said, 205 Live right now is the best show of the week right now for me. It just is. SmackDown is taking a step back, unfortunately. Raw, I haven't watched enough Raw. And like I said, I'm not going to, I also found myself saying Raw sucks just because I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it, so I don't know. I'm not going to say Raw sucks right now because I don't know. I haven't watched it. For the longest time, I've been the only one that's been really excited to watch Raw every Monday. Even last year, I was still excited to watch Raw every Monday. But I don't know. Like I said, trying to get back into the main roster a little bit more. I just haven't been able to watch it recently. But definitely a good show. I hope 205 Live keeps it up. I actually enjoy 205 Live. I know there's not a lot of live attendance, but still, I actually enjoy it. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to give the podcast a like. If you haven't already liked the Facebook page, be sure to like the Facebook page as well. Um, Also subscribe to the channel, the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. We are there as well. Subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Twitter at ICW_podcast. I think that's all. I think I hit it all. Give us a like. I don't know if I said that already. I think I did earlier, but coming back full circle. Give us a like. We'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed. This was your 205 live review on the Instant Classic Wrestling Podcast, the only podcast that is always, and I mean always, an instant classic.